Okay, finally, thank you very much everybody for coming. Amazing that you've made it here. It's really a special, unique day here in Helsinki that we chose this day to have our event. And so, if possible, it would be nice if people could come out of the shadows and into the main area here. But I know, but that's not supposed to be our excuse, right? I will first introduce myself. Do I? Yeah? So, my name is Pamela Spokes. I am the chair of the Migrant Entrepreneur Board here at Suomen Yrittäjät. Yeah, woo, thank you. One woo. And I would like to welcome you here to the 8th annual Business Unplugged that Suomen Yrittäjät has held. And this is their kind of like main big one English language event that they have. And other than this, we have been growing year on year. But it's something that we all look forward to. Us on the network, you know, we look forward to this event every year. And we get a lot of opportunities for networking, which, as we've all heard numerous times, how important that is here in Finland as entrepreneurs. And so this year's event is all about business opportunities. And there are many different kinds of business opportunities here in Finland, and we will want to be taking you on kind of an inspirational tour of the different ways and the different people you can talk to find out what those opportunities are. And so we're going to have workshops today that will be able to give you tools for business planning, looking at all the different kinds of opportunities that you might want to explore, including things like purchasing a business rather than starting your own business. And it's really important for us, Suomen Yrittäjät and the Migrant Entrepreneur Board, that we can continue to kind of promote migrant entrepreneurs and show in a great light all of the good things that we are doing here in Finland and all of the opportunities that we can bring and that we can take in this country. So we want to make the environment and these ecosystems much more accessible and available to everybody who wishes to make use of them. And so I would like to go through I can go through the program quickly there. Just head back one. Yeah. So we're now here. I am going to have a conversation with our keynote now. So David Blinoff of the F Company. So we will be coming up here to have a chat. We're also going to have a presentation by Humek Kreve, and we're going to hear what they are doing in this space. And then there's going to be lots of workshops that you can attend. So it's really important that you kind of visit all the different organizations that are here today to help give you some tools and information that you will be able to take with you and to actually connect with them so that you can follow up later on. And then, of course, we will have our signature part of the evening, which is the declaring the awarding of the Migrant Entrepreneur of the Year Award, which is sponsored by Elo. And yes, I would also, then we will be doing lots of networking with all the people that are here. And don't forget that you can take your photo over there on the photo album. And first, if you wish, the hashtag for this event is #BusinessUnplugged23, all one word. So that is, I think, important to know. And now I would like to introduce the other members that are here from the Migrant Entrepreneur Board. So we have a map here. So these are the places that they have, that we have representatives from this board. So if people who are on the board could stand up, and I can let people know who you are so they can chat with you if they want. Okay, so Look at them, they're all kind of sat together, awesome. So here we have Ali, if you just want to wave, yes, Kingsley, Granger, Cyrus. Is there anybody else out there? I can't see. Is Nada there? Hello, Nada. Yes, so please come up and talk with us and ask us about what we do on the board, why we have this network here at Suomen Yrittäjät, and we're all happy to discuss that with you. All right, and moving right along, let's head over and grab these chairs. Yes, so I would like to invite David up to the stage, and David is the founder and CEO of the F Company, and he has helped his B2B customers generate millions. Well done. Yeah. Well done. In sales. And so I would ask you to please give a warm welcome to David here again. And thank you very much for coming on such short notice.
Thank you for having me. It's
yes.
Good to be here, guys.
All right. So, as a fellow migrant entrepreneur, as you are, could you give us a little overview of your background and kind of tell us about yourself and how you became an entrepreneur?
Yeah, absolutely. Good to be here, guys. Fantastic to see so many of you here, given the circumstances. I'm sure it wasn't easy for all of you to get here. But I'm David. Good to see you. As I was introduced, I'm the CEO and the founder of the F Company. It's a B2B marketing agency. We're based in Helsinki. We're just over 20 people, and we're going to do about 1.7 million this year. And I'm originally not from here, as you can probably imagine. And I was born in Latvia. I was born in Riga, and moved here 13, 14 years ago. So I'm Finnish now, and I speak Finnish, and a lot of my identity is Finnish. But of course, originally I'm from a very, very different background. And I don't know how much you guys know about Eastern Europe, especially in the 90s, but it was a pretty crap place to be. And I think those of you who are from there or thereabouts, you probably know what I'm talking about. It was a pretty rough place, and I was born to a pretty poor family, and we literally didn't have food on the table when I was growing up. And I remember when I first moved to Finland, and I was explaining to my Finnish friends, the conditions that I grew up in, the fact that we had to wonder, what are we going to eat for dinner? We had to wonder, are we going to get kicked out of our apartment at the end of the month because we couldn't pay for it? And then I would just see this blank stare or this confusion at best in my Finnish friends' faces, because it's impossible for them to even imagine that something like that can and does happen. And because of that, I had to start my working life very early. I was 13 when I got my first job, simply because I needed to support my mom. I needed to put food on the table. And I began my entrepreneurial journey quite early. I was 16. I was in high school when I started my first company. And I still remember that. I had about 10 euros left on my bank account, and that was all of the money that I had. And I couldn't go out with my friends. I couldn't take the girl that I liked on a date, literally, because I couldn't pay for a movie ticket. And I was sitting there with this 10 euros, and I was wondering, what am I going to do with it? Like, what's next? What are the opportunities for me? And then, I don't know if you remember, back in the day, they had those computer magazines, internet magazines. Internet was still a relatively new thing. And I bought one of those, and that came with a coupon for a domain name and 3 months of hosting. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to spend my last 10 years in this world on perhaps learning a new skill. And 3 months later, I had a little website. I taught myself HTML and CSS and the very basics of how online marketing works. And I started a website where I was promoting software products and services as an affiliate for a commission. And then before you know it, at the end of this 3-month period, I was making a little bit of money, and I hired 2 of my best friends, my classmates, to work for me. And I still remember that. It was such a surreal moment. I would pay them every Tuesday before the English class. I would bring a little envelope with cash in it, and I would give it to them under the table. And I felt on top of the world. I felt like I know everything there is to know about business and about marketing. Obviously, had no idea what I was doing. Didn't know that you're supposed to pay taxes, for example. That was a lesson for later. So, if you're looking for pro tips from this, secrets to success, do pay your taxes. That's when it started. That's when it started, and I'm now 34, so I've been doing digital marketing my whole life, essentially. And I've started quite a few companies here and there, and I've lived in different countries. I came here to study, but I tried moving away. I tried escaping from Finland, but then Finland found me and brought me back. And about 6 years ago, I felt like I have quite a lot of experience in marketing. And I felt that I have a lot to say and a lot to share with companies that are perhaps not taking advantage of everything that marketing was offering and all the tools and methods. And the rest is history. So now 6.5 years into it, we're growing about 40–50% a year, and it's been a wild ride. It's been a wild ride, and sometimes when I stop to kind of look back at where it started, you know, moving to Finland without a penny in my pocket, without the language, without knowing absolutely anyone, getting to a point where I can be proud of the little thing that I've built feels good.
Thank you. One of the things you talked about is how you've kind of built your company over the years, and we've mentioned briefly that what you're doing is B2B marketing and digital marketing, obviously. And so within this kind of marketing world, how have you learned, you know, what have you done to learn what works and what doesn't?
I mean, obviously, having done this all my life, I've had quite a bit of experience, you know, having gone from being a specialist who knew the technical part, who knew the copywriting, who knew how to set up marketing automation or build websites, and having gone all the way to working with some of the largest B2B companies in Europe and building a strategy for them that helps them literally make or lose, in the worst case, millions in revenue. I think it also comes with the business. You know, I've just done a lot of the stuff. But having said that, even though I've seen almost everything there is to see in the B2B marketing environment, I'm still wrong a lot of the time. And what you learn is that marketing is a game of placing bets. It's a game of having your solid foundation and having enough information that allows you to place those bets. And then you simply experiment. You run experiments and let the data show you what works and what doesn't. So at the end of the day, this is what we still do. Even if we have a strong hunch that, you know, this particular strategy is something that's going to work for our clients, we still work with experiments. We iterate a lot, and we let the data show us the way to go. So the answer to your question is, how do I know what works? I don't really. I improvise based on my experience, and then I see what happens.
So kind of that takes me to the next thought, is that you know, many people out there are solo entrepreneurs, and they're kind of trying to do everything. That's kind of their role, is they're kind of like hustling all the different parts. They're trying to do the marketing, they're trying to do the sales, they're trying to actually do the thing, as well as all of those other things. So when it comes to digital marketing and what you do, is there a place for kind of like a really small micro company in this, and how do you prepare them for this iteration, this idea that this is how it's going to work? Do they, because I can imagine coming in, like, you have a really small budget, yeah, and you're really worried about, like, if this doesn't work. So how do you kind of prepare them for that, yeah, that mindset?
I think it's a very good question, and of course I would imagine that many of you here are working with startups or smaller companies, or you are solopreneurs. You don't have unlimited marketing budgets or any marketing budgets to speak of, and that's where I started as well. And of course now my company focuses on mid-size and large companies only. That's our bread and butter, that's our focus area, but of course we started with this. And what I tell other startup entrepreneurs is to focus hardcore when it comes down to marketing. At the end of the day, it's better to kick ass on one channel and be really visible and be really loud, and you know, have your audience be there for you and consume your content and love what you do and see you as a thought leader, as opposed to spreading your very limited attention and resources too thin and trying to be everywhere just because someone else is doing it. Trying to be on LinkedIn and Facebook and Google Ads and trying to do email marketing and trying to do SEO. You don't need to do all of that. The advice that I give is ask yourself what is going to be the growth driver in the next year or two, instead of what growth hack do we hope is going to be the silver bullet and help us double our sales in the next month. That's not going to happen. So then the bottom line is, what you want to do is you, of course, want to have your basics covered. You want to understand your audience. You want to understand their pain points. You want to understand what is it that they want to hear day in and day out. And then narrow down on 1 or 2 channels, 1 or 2 content formats that will allow you to reach them again and again and again and again, to create this brand awareness and brand presence. When we were a smaller DF company, when we were 3 or 4 people, people would come to us, potential clients would come to us and say, look guys, we had no idea that you're 3 or 4. We thought that you're 10 times the size of that, because the noise that we were making on LinkedIn made people believe that we were much larger. And the only way that was possible is because we chose to focus on 1 channel that was organic LinkedIn for us, and then 1 content format that was webinars and events. And we ignored absolutely everything else. And then we focused on making that content so good and making us seem so much bigger than we actually were, that it helped us attract the kind of customers that probably would not have gotten if it wasn't for that. So my advice to you guys is to focus as much as you can. Don't fall victim to FOMO. You know, every time you open LinkedIn, there is a million different things you can do, and you can, but maybe you shouldn't. So I hope that's an answer.
Yeah, I hear that quite a bit. You know, like, pick your platform that your customers are using. Make sure your customers are using that platform, and it's not just the one you want to use.
Absolutely.
And really kind of focus on that and be intentional.
And look, many of you might be wondering, well, how do I know where my customers are? How do I know what content they need? How do I know what pains and needs they have? Those of you who have been to a business school and you've taken marketing classes, you remember the very first thing they teach you: talk to your customers. And we're in Finland now, and the scariest thing to a Finn is to pick up the goddamn phone and call anyone. That's scary. No one talks on the phone anymore, but the bottom line is that's what you should be doing. If you talk to 10, 15, 20 people who are your potential target audience, that's going to shape your marketing for the next couple of years. It doesn't need to be harder than that. It doesn't need to be more complicated or crazier than that. Just ask them, look, what are the pain points that you're facing day to day? Even when you're not looking to buy for products and services like mine. What can I do as a business to make your day-to-day life easier? And for us, the answer was simple. Most of the time, people are not looking for marketing agencies. They're simply not. Roughly 95% of our addressable audience is not looking to buy. So if I start selling to them, I'm going to be wasting their time and my money. Instead, what I asked for them, from those marketing managers who are our target audience, is, what are the pains that you're facing day to day? Like, what are the challenges that I can help you with? And then we identified that pretty much everyone in our target audience has the same 10, 15 problems that they're facing day to day: operational, financial, etc. Everyone is stressed out about the same things. Everyone is afraid that ChatGPT is going to take their jobs. So then what we started doing is, instead of selling, we started giving them content that helps them and adds value and helps them in their day-to-day lives and jobs. So that when the time to buy comes, be it a month from now, a year from now, 3 years from now, the customer journeys can be very long, especially in B2B services that we are in. When the time to buy comes, they shortlist you, they come to you, and they buy from you, because at this point, they know you and they trust you. And this was the logic that we chose, and the thing that we chose to focus on. And that's something that carried us through kind of the first years of not having a marketing budget at all. And we ended up generating millions of impressions with our content. We ended up creating so many relationships with stakeholders through live events we organized, through webinars that we organized. We ended up adding so much value to their lives that 1, 2, 3, 4 years from then, they would come to us and say, look, we want to work with you because we trust that you guys really know your shit, you know what you're doing. So none of that would have been possible if we tried spreading our attention too thin and just trying to do absolutely everything everywhere.
Yes, as a service designer, my whole life is trying to convince people to do customer research.
It sounds so silly. It's like when someone tells you talk to your customers, even I roll my eyes. I'm just like, oh, really? But the bottom line is you should. You should. Just pick up the phone and talk to someone.
All right. So you spoke a little bit about when you were just 3 or 4 people, and you know, people were thinking you were much bigger than you were. Now you are much bigger than you were. Now you have over 20 people, you said, yeah? So tell me a little bit about that journey. How did you kind of make that happen? Go from like just you and very small to over 20?
Yeah. Look, I love the clickbaity title to this event, The Secrets to Success. Makes people show up. At the end of the day, of course, there is no secret to success. It's a lot of hard work, and it took me 6 years to get to the point where we grew from 1 or 2 people to having over 20 people in our team. If I were to maybe highlight 2 or 3 of the main points that I think contributed the most, the first one would definitely be hardcore focus. We started with just 2 or 3 guys who knew marketing, and we did a little bit of everything. The problem with that was that we competed with thousands of single entrepreneur companies in Finland who provided marketing services. Not even mentioning the large agencies, and there are hundreds of them in the Nordics. And I've always had this gut feeling that if I was, let's say, a personal trainer at the gym, I would so much rather charge 10 people 10,000 euros a year as opposed to 100 people a much smaller amount of money. And I've always had this oversubscribed mentality that I want to focus really hard on a very particular niche and dominate that niche, be the loudest in that niche, be seen as the best in that niche, as opposed to being just one of the people, one of the agencies, one of the companies. And maybe 1 or 2 years into our entrepreneurial journey, I had to have a lot of fights with 2 of my co-founders at the time because I felt that we need to narrow down. I felt that we need to leave B2C behind. I felt that we should stop working with consumer businesses. I felt that there is a bigger opportunity based on kind of the hunches and the data that we were seeing, where we're getting better results and better feedback from B2B customers. And I also felt that B2B companies generally have a lot more money and a lot less understanding of what marketing actually is. And it took me literally 1 or 2 months to convince them that we should let go of half of our clients at the time. And that was scary. And my partners were saying, look, are we literally going to start saying no when people come to us with money? And I said, yeah, we have to start saying no. And in hindsight, that was one of the best decisions that we've ever made, because we went from being one of the 1,000 little agencies to one of the 10 agencies that provided only B2B services. And we took it one step further this year when we started narrowing down to not just B2B companies, but large B2B companies with long and complex sales cycles, when it takes half a year, 1 year, 2 years to sell whatever product or service that they're doing. And once again, we went from competing with 10 or 20 agencies to being in a niche of our own. And now when we're bidding for these big clients against agencies that do a little bit of everything, it's so much easier for us to win because the clients really feel like we understand their pain points. We understand exactly what they're going through. And I've always had this gut feeling that we need to focus, 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 focus. And I feel like that was one of the core things that we did. But the second thing, and I know it's something that you want to talk about to me today, is related to delegation. Mm-hmm. And I gotta be honest with you guys, if focus was the gut feeling that I feel like I've always had inside me, no matter what I do, I'm going to just focus hardcore, then delegation and letting go of control, especially in my company, was the hardest thing to me personally. It's something that was mentally really hard, and I was struggling with that a lot, and I was talking to my advisors, I was talking to a lot of different people to learn how to do that, because I think many of you can relate to the fact that when you're this solopreneur and you learn how to do your thing really well, it's exceptionally hard to let go of that control and trust that whoever you hire is going to be able to deliver it with the same level of quality, the same level of care and passion that you. And I know that for me, that was super hard. And I was literally, it's going to make me look bad now, I was stressing out and terrorizing my employees to get everything up to the level of quality that I wanted it to be. Everything had to be 10 out of 10 before I would send it to the clients. They were not allowed to do it before going through me first. And it took months of conversations with my board of advisors and other people for them to convince me that at the end of the day, it's not me who should be the judge of quality of what my company is doing, it's the customers. And who am I to say that what's 10 out of 10 to me is also what the customer expects? And I also learned that empowering my team to take control, to maybe add their own touch, their own personality to what they're doing, also makes the people feel much better. It makes them feel trusted. It makes them feel like a bigger part of the business. And I think one of the core breakthroughs in our company happened when I learned to step back, when I learned to stop doing client work, for example. I haven't done client work in years now, and that made me happier, and it made our team a lot happier, I have to tell you that. So letting go of control was definitely a thing. And maybe actually one thing I want to add as well before I hand over our only microphone back to Pamela. And I think this is a relevant lesson, especially for us, because we're foreigners in Finland. We come here a lot of the time with no language, no connections. We don't know how any of this works. Getting a board of advisors and building that was one of the pivotal moments for us. We were stuck for 2 or 3 years at about €500,000 mark. And building a board of trusted advisors, of people who build companies, who sold companies, who know the Finnish scene, who have the connections, who know how all of this works, that was pivotal to us. We called it the advisor effect. And literally, if you look at our financial statements, it's like 500,000, 500,000, 900,000, 1.2, 1.5, etc. And I'm not saying it's all up to them, of course, or because of them, but definitely that was a big part of it. There's just so much that you don't know. Not just about how to run and build a successful business, but also about how Finland works. Where to go, who to talk to, how to open the doors. So I would absolutely recommend finding advisors, local advisors if you can, who have done this before. Trust me, it just makes your life so much easier.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what was the criteria that you guys kind of created in order to identify your advisors that you wanted to bring on board?
Well, we got a couple of advisors, and the criteria was quite simple. The first advisor that we got was someone who had built and sold an agency before, a very successful one. And obviously he's seen everything, he's done the thing that we are now doing. And the amount of experience that he had to share with us was just mind-blowing. Literally in the first month or two when he came in, he would say, look, your pricing model makes absolutely no sense. You guys are leaving so much money on the table that it's not even funny. And we were like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, makes sense. The second advisor, the logic was that we wanted to get the person who knows absolutely everyone in the marketing industry, and we got a person like that. And it was Santtu Kottila, the founder of Markkinointikollektiivi. Many of you might know at least the community, if not Santtu. And to answer your question in very practical terms, how did we get those people? Well, we sent them a message and we said, hey, can I buy you lunch? That's where it all starts. At the end of the day, there's a lot of people out there who would love to help you. There's a lot of people out there who are into what you're into whatever your business is doing, who have the experience. And the worst thing that can happen is they will say, no, I'm busy right now. But the best thing that can happen is you're going to get a board advisor, a shareholder, someone who's going to open a lot of doors and help you take your business to the next level, and that's what happened to us.
And at what point would you say that you should start thinking about getting a board of advisors?
I think for us it took maybe 3 or 4 years, 3 years. I think we definitely should have done it earlier. So my advice would be, as soon as you see the product market fit, as soon as you start seeing the traction, absolutely bring in the advisors, because they will help you avoid so many of those mistakes that you're going to be making. And it's just much cheaper and faster to be learning from someone else's mistakes. So as soon as you have something that someone else wants to buy, go get a board of advisors. That would be my advice.
Okay, thank you very much. I do want to open the floor to some questions, if there's any questions that people have. But first, I would say, is there any, we're a bunch of entrepreneurs here, a bunch of migrant entrepreneurs. Is there any kind of last words you would want to give?
I mean, people ask a lot, like, what is the secret? How do you succeed? And of course, as you know, there is no secret. It's all about hard work. And I've been thinking for a while now, if I had to sum it up in one sentence, If I had to mentor an entrepreneur and tell him in one line what he or she should be doing, it would be this famous old quote from Ted Turner. It's a very long one, but I shortened it to like 3 words. It goes like this: work like hell and advertise. Work like hell and advertise. And it sounds simple, but it's really not, because one doesn't work without the other. You might be, and I'm sure all of you are already working hard. You're fantastic at what you do. And the truth is, wow, that was hardcore. The truth is, you might be the best in the world at what you do. But if the world doesn't know you exist, it's not going to help you. If the world doesn't know you exist, what is the point? So my advice to my younger self, even, if I was to go back and do this whole thing again, and I probably will one day, would be to work like hell and let the world know. Do a thing and tell the world you did it. And it doesn't matter if you don't have a massive audience, you don't have a massive following, you don't have thousands of LinkedIn followers. It's fine, it takes a long time. But don't forget to tell the world about the great work that you're doing. That's just as important, if not more important, than the actual work.
Thank you very much. So, is there any questions that? Oh, yes, we have. We'll start here.
Well, I am wondering about the name of the company.
Yeah. No, yeah. So the question was, what does the name stand for? I'm going to shoot that question back to you. What do you think it stands for? And you're on camera, by the way, so. It's a live stream. Someone is shooting this and filming this. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, no, you are. I like the way you think. Yeah. Very good. Yeah, it makes you think something else. Look, there's an official answer and then there's a real answer. The official answer is that when we were brainstorming the name of the company, we wrote down a lot of words on a whiteboard, and we noticed that a lot of them start with F: fast, forward, future, whatever. The real answer is that what I wanted to do is to pick whatever name that is going to be unignorable. I come to an event, I go to Slush, I speak at an event, no matter what I do. When I say that I work at the F company, I want for people to stop in their tracks and say, what? The F company? What the hell is that? So that's what it stands for. It stands for you asking what it stands for.
And it worked.
And it worked. Please.
Thank you. So you mentioned the importance of advisors, and I'm really on board with that. So, but what do you think? Does it make sense, or is it appreciated to try to compensate the advisors in some way, maybe with equity? I don't know what they appreciate in a small company, which is not very valuable. Should you offer somebody who's a really valuable advisor? I know that they want to help. Many of them just want to help you over a cup of coffee. But if they're really valuable, should you offer them equity? Maybe a little bit. Or how much?
Wait for the microphone to come back, so some awkward music maybe you can lay over. Yeah. Very good question, thanks for that. They say that nothing good is free in this life at the end of the day. And if you want for someone who's truly experienced, whose time and advice are truly valuable, then you want to compensate them. And for us, for the first 2 years, we compensated them with equity up to a point where it didn't make sense anymore, and then we started paying them. So that was our model, and typically, companies of our size and larger, they always compensate advisors with money, so that's what's expected. So find whatever model works for you.
Any more questions? Oh.
There's one more question, but we're also getting angry looks from the...
Anxious. We'll say anxious, yeah.
Me,
Just to keep on time. Yeah. All right. So I guess then if there aren't any, burning questions, I would say thank you very much. Thank you for coming on such short notice, and thank you for your knowledge. I think it's very important that people hear from people that have kind of been through it, who have grown their company, who have gone through all these different stages that they are looking forward to going through and having a successful company. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, guys.
All right.
And do feel free to connect. And my name is there. Do feel free to connect on LinkedIn, and I'm sharing my journey on LinkedIn as well very actively. So I'm happy to help, happy to talk, and keep on rocking, keep on doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. So next, we're going to do some networking. Yay, this is what we've come here for today. So we are going to ask Marika Peltoniemi to come up to the stage from Suomen Yrittäjät, and she is going to guide us in a warm-up. Is that so? So we'll get to know each other a little better. Yes. Yay. Big hand. Thank you very much, Marika.
So let's get to know each other a bit better. So as Pamela already, or actually it was Santa who already made us to turn around and look around and see who's next to us. So let's continue. I ask you to find a person that you don't know yet, and just 3 things. It's a culture cocktail. So introduce you to each other, and then just quickly change few things, that information about your background. So how do you say hello in your culture? What is your traditional food for the holiday season? And then something interesting about your city where you were born. So these 3 things is like a little culture cocktail, and we use just 5 minutes to get to know each other a bit better. Let's go.
So, yes, we are here at this part of the program, the Migrant Entrepreneur of the Year Award. And this part of the evening is going to be guided by the Suomen Yrittäjät chair, Petri Salminen. So he's here. He's going to let everybody know who is the winner and what the prizes are. So I will invite him up to the stage. And thank you very much. Yes, big hand. Yes. Hopefully it wasn't too difficult for you to get here this evening.
Well, living there at the central part of Finland, I've used to driving, but not exactly the kind of traffic that it was here today. But once again, it's entrepreneurship is always finding solutions to difficult problems and going around barriers. So again, this day has been like that for unfortunately many of the participants, but also for entrepreneurs and their employees. But on my behalf, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart that you are here today, since migrant entrepreneurs and the migrant entrepreneurs networks operations and activities have a significant role to this organization, to Suomen Yrittäjät Federation of Finnish Enterprises. We are by far, as you might know, the biggest business organization in Finland, and we do know, well, if I put it like this, entrepreneurship is always, and we entrepreneurs, we are the ones changing the world, making a world a bit better place with our innovations, but especially by thinking differently. And thinking differently, that requires different kind of people. It requires diversity, and therefore we see as a business organization in Finland that migrant entrepreneurs are the ones paving the way for new thinking, new thoughts, new entrepreneurship, and new prosperous Finland. And therefore I want to thank Pamela and your team. You have done a remarkable, tremendous job here at our organization. And what maybe the best part of my role as a chair of this organization is to have the opportunity to recognize and award entrepreneurs that have done tremendous endeavors or tremendous business, taking the risk of entrepreneurship and succeeding or trying their best. And therefore this evening is more than welcome for me as well, since I have the opportunity to be here to award 2 honorable mentions and of course the Migrant Entrepreneur of the Year 2023. First, I would say few words about the award itself. Migrant Entrepreneur of the Year award is now announced 5th time. It's been we have done it with cooperation with insurance pension company Elo, which will award the winner with cash prize of 5,000 euros. And these prizes go through a very tight evaluation process. This year we had 25 applicants from different parts of Finland, unique entrepreneurs and ideas. And our grand jury, which is combined chair of the Migrant Entrepreneurs Network management team, Pamela Spokes, the Elo Insurance Company's marketing director, Marianna Ahola, Anton Koutso, the last year's Migrant Entrepreneur of the Year winner, and Jenni Parpala, vice chair of the Suomen Yrittäjät. They have been evaluating the applicants and candidates and been able to do the hard task of coming with one winner. But first, the jury would like to award 2 honorable mentions, and if I may have the honor to get Pamela Spokes and Sonia with me here today to announce the honorable mentions and award the diplomas. First, we are going to introduce the One to Watch honor. This award recognizes the young entrepreneur's hard work and vision for a more inclusive and sustainable future for Finland. And the one to watch honor goes to Bambi Dang.
Thank you so much, everyone, for this recognition. I came to Finland 10 years ago as a student, and building my life here and having a company has not been the easiest thing. But today, I feel very honored to be recognized. Of course, I didn't do this alone. It's thanks to our team, our co-founders, and our amazing team at Finance Future to make this happen so that I get this recognition today. So thank you all for this, and please keep up the good work. And there's a lot that we need to do in order to build a more sustainable future for Finland, because I believe that this is the inspiration for the world. So thank you so much, everyone.
And if I understood correctly, I did some background checking. You are also the alumni of Haaga-Helia this year, is it? Yes. Then we have the other honorable mention, and this goes, and also this warms me very much, since coming from family-owned company myself as well, and family of entrepreneurs. This honor is the Family Entrepreneurial Spirit honor. And this award recognizes the family's perseverance and their commitment to perfecting and passing on their knowledge and entrepreneurial spirit. And although I might say that there's nothing fishy when smoking a fish, and this award goes to Myrskylän Savu Oy, Lilli Leps.
So Lily's the one next to me. She is my mom and I'm the daughter, and we want to say thank you for the recognition. This did come as a surprise for us, and it warms our heart to be recognized. And we heard that we got a lot of good comments about our company, so we're gonna just keep pushing. It's the busiest time of the year, so the real workers are actually still working right now. Yeah. And we have to actually go back to work as well. But thank you all.
And then do the Migrant Entrepreneur of the Year award. Also, this award goes to the entrepreneur, and it's awarded because of the persistence of the entrepreneur and the ability to incorporate new areas of revenue and promotion into their business. Entrepreneur came to Finland with his family in the beginning of 1990s as an asylum seeker. The entrepreneur has been entrepreneur since 1996, so almost 30 years. The products that they do are made by hand from high quality domestic raw materials. in addition to craftsmanship. And each product that they do are made with heart. Diversity is emphasized in the company, and the company employs 5 different cultures. The importance of the staff is everything, and the owner he values them like their own family members. Also, the jury has been, and yours truly as well, quite impressed by the entrepreneur's guts and ability to innovate. But before publishing the entrepreneur's name, let's have a short video.
Meidän yritys tekee valmis tuote. Olemme perheyritys. Tavoite on laajentaa niin paljon kuin pystyy joka Suomen talo meidän tuote. Minä ja vaimo keksimme yksi tuote, kotileipä ja liha sisään, ja viemme Särkisalo ravintola, ja siellä ihmiset on tykkännyt. Sitten me mietimme, se on vaikea leipää tehdä, odottaa nostoaikaa ja koko yö leivoi ja aamulla laita tuote valmis. Yksi hetki tuli, tää on rulla juttu, voi olla helppo paistaa ja tehdä uusi tuote, sitä se lähti. Yritysvisio on laittaa tuote eteenpäin, kehittää uutta ja kasvaa. Meidän yritys tunnetaan laatusta, palvelu ja rehellisyys. Yrityksestä erityistä on, että me tehdään sydämestä ja käsityö ja sama resepti 28 vuotta. Menestyksemme salaisuus on, että ei anna periksi. Yrittäjä olen syntynyt tukisaan ihmisistä, kun he tykkäävät meidän tuotteen. Yrittämisestä parasta on, kun menestyt, ja pahin on, kun viet kaikki ajat siihen. Ei sulle jää paljon aikaa. Yrittäjyys vaatii ahkera, rehellinen ja ole ajoissa. Henkilökunta mulla on tosi tärkeä. Ne on niinku perheenjäsen täällä sisään ja toimimme eri kansalaisia yhdessä. No, paras päivä yrityksemme on, kun homma toimii. Kun asiat sujuu hyvin, sitä on paras päivä. Muille yrittäjille toivon terveys ja menestys.
So, Perni ja rullakebab-tehdas Oy, Risa Veseli. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thanks again. This is for me very important. I can't. Wait, people. You want to know? Muy breve. Yes. Thank you very much. This is very important for me. Can you for me read it? What I want to say to people.
Actually, you couldn't say it better than you've already done with your emotions and with everything. But you have excellent speech here, so
I lose my mind. I lose my mind because this is so big things for me, and I was make ready what I want to say here, but I can't. What I do now. For this.
Speak jotain, kun tulee syödä. Joo.
I lose all the time. Can you? I don't know for me. Can you please for me?
Hello, everyone. Yes. So, emotions. What my uncle Riza here wants to say is that he thanks everyone, the people who support him through all these hard years of work, and he never imagined that from a small place like Pernia with 4,000 people who live in there, he can achieve something so big. And yes, he's very grateful in this very moment.
Congratulations, and let's raise a toast for the Migrant Entrepreneur of the Year 2023, Pernian Rullakebab Tehdas and Riza Veseli.
And as part of the jury, I can say that we had some really, really great discussions, and we got to see some really fantastic entries for this. And so there were, if I remember, there were 77 individual entries and 25 unique entries. So there's a lot of people out there with a lot of supporters. So now we're at the point of the evening where there is food and networking. So please feel free to grab some food, and don't forget, we have our photo booth at the back there where you can take some more photos and get some information from people and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.